Hello and happy St. Patrick's Day. This is Irondale Brewing. I'm Matt. Realized looking back at my previous videos, I've never really introduced myself, but I'm Matt. And today, yesterday I was feeling a little bit dejected because my the brewery's still out of commission because my range hood redo project hit a snag with the LED lighting that I'm putting underneath it. But you know, I decided it's beautiful out today. We finally in the Pacific Northwest came out of what we call the Big Dark, and it's like 62 degrees and sunny and clear, and it's St. Patrick's Day, and I thought I'll just forget about doing brewing videos until I get that solved in another week or two and do a red ale roundup because I happen to have an embarrassment of selections of red ales on hand, so what better day to do it than St. Patrick's Day. I also want to do a quick shout out to Fort George. It's their birthday today. 17 years in Astoria, Oregon. If you ever get a chance to go there, it's a fantastic brewery. They make really great, innovative beers. They are always coming out with new stuff. In the month of February, they do all stouts. So we're just coming out of that period. It's nice out. This is a little bit of a transition from winter to spring, and it's the perfect time to try some red ales. So I have 5 in front of me today. Challenge accepted, I guess. So 2 of these are local-ish. This is Silver City Ridgetop Red Ale from Bremerton, Washington. This is Kulshan Red Ale from Bellingham, another great town if you ever get a chance to go there. Kulshan is one of my favorite breweries. They make fantastic beers as well. Their Kitten Mittens Winter Warmer is one of my absolute favorite beers, period. Not even just winter beers. If you ever get a chance to try that. And then from Ohio, I have the Great Lakes Conway's Irish Ale, which a lot of people cite as a really good representative example of the style. We humans love to label things. Beer can be whatever it wants, but as far as the style as defined by the BJCP guide, that tends to be a good representative, kind of commercially available example. And then from Ireland, little drip on the side of the can there. This is Sullivan's Maltings Irish Ale. They don't say it's an Irish red ale, but it's a red ale from Ireland, so you do the math. And then this one on the end here is an American red ale that I made a while back. It's been in the keg for about a month. I noticed now it's a lot darker than all these others, but that's one of the things I love about red ales is there's quite a range of, I'd say the heart of the beer. If you read the style guidelines, it can kind of be a little bit different things from sweet to roasted. There's some things you can play around with. So it's a great style. I have had some good ones. A little bit of love-hate relationship, not a hate-hate relationship like I have with pumpkin ales. But some are too sweet for me. Some red ales are too sweet for me. But these I all like for various reasons. So I just thought I'd go through the ones I have on hand on St. Patrick's Day. So first, I think this will be to your left. We will try the Ridgetop Red Ale from Silver City Brewing in Bremerton, Washington. This one probably is lack of head is because it's the one I poured first, so don't hold that against it. Color-wise, I'd say, and some of this, I don't know how well it's going to come out on the camera. This one is not as red as some of the others. It's definitely redder than you might find in an amber, but I'd like to see a little bit more red out of that one. Definitely smell malt, no perceived hop aroma at all on this one. Let's give it a taste. Very malty, nice full mouthfeel, a little bit sweet for me, and you just taste a hint of hops in the finish to kind of balance out the sweetness. It's good. I like it. It's not my favorite of these. I've had all these before, but it's definitely a decent one. And if I'm out and that is the beer they have, that if it's this or Budweiser, I definitely pick this. And Silver City in general makes some pretty good beers. So if you get a chance to try any of their stuff, they're all pretty good. Okay, just getting another sense of what that one's like. Okay, next up is Kulshan Red Cap. They just call it Red Ale. They don't say it's Irish. In particular, malt forward ale, medium body, and slight sweetness. So let's see how well they live up to that description. Color-wise, this one a little bit darker, a little bit redder. Definitely like the visual of it better than the Silver City. there's not a whole lot going on with the aroma. That's kind of strange. This one you can definitely smell. It's very malty, almost a little, yeah. But this one, a little bit of roastiness is what I got that time, which is interesting. Okay, let's give this one a taste. Yeah, it's nice. I prefer this one. It is not as sweet as the Silver City. Little bit of roastiness, but not overwhelming. But does have that kind of Irish red characteristic middle sweetness in the flavor. Not as much bitterness on the finish as the Silver City either. Yeah, definitely that. I really like that one. If you get a chance to try that one, it's out of Bellingham, Washington. Like I said, it's I'm not giving stats on these. Didn't do a lot of research beforehand. That's the other thing. I got to the point where I'm like, I'll just do a video, and if it comes out great. If not, I'm sure you'll bear with me, because if you watch my other videos, you realize I'm figuring this out as I go. But this is 4.8%, 21 IBU, and yeah, that one's really nice on the roastier side. And that's, like I said, what I like about red ales is they can kind of run the gamut from pretty sweet, some are too, like I said, too sweet for me, to kind of more on the roasty side, which I'll talk about a little bit more as we go that direction. Next up, we have the Great Lakes Conway's Irish Ale. Great Lakes, I've had a lot of their beers. I can, live in a state where you can have beer shipped, so I do that fairly often with their stuff, because I really love a lot of their stuff. Make a great Midwest IPA. It's, a little bit of a session IPA that's really excellent. They have a fantastic porter, Edmund Fitzgerald porter, and this one is good. I haven't had it in a while. I recall it being a little bit sweet for me, but the color, again, I don't know how well this comes out on the camera, it's fantastic. It's a nice coppery red. It's really clearer than the other two. And so let's give this one a little bit of a whirl. This one you smell more sweetness. Great Lakes, they love crystal malt and they use it pretty heavily in a lot of their beers. Yeah, definitely sweetness. I don't detect any roastiness or any hop aroma in this one. Yeah, this one it's similar to the first one, a little bit of more of that roasty character, but not as much as the Kulshan. And but yeah, I like it. It's less sweet than I remember it being. I like it better this time than the last time I had it. Yeah, excellent mouthfeel. And yeah, the flavor is really good, super well balanced. That's what I like about pretty much all their beers. Everything they make is really well balanced, which I always appreciate. Okay, next we'll go on. So these are all American. 2 from Washington, 1 from Ohio. Next we'll go on to the Sullivan's Brewing Company Maltings Irish Ale. And this one I picked up because in doing a little bit of research, you can't tell from how I'm talking that I did a little bit of research here, but is kind of held up as pretty representative of the Irish red ale. Like I said, it's got a red label and they call it Irish ale. They don't say it's an Irish red ale, but we'll take that for what it's worth. This one, as you can see, is darker. Yeah, I really hope that comes out, because it's darker, but it's got a nice red hue to it. And yeah, it's I guess visually I like the Great Lakes better, but it's a little bit darker and richer. Definitely get more of the roastiness of the roasted barley. I didn't try to figure out what the recipes were for all these, or even if they tell you what they use. This one happens to say on here it does have roasted barley on it. Most Irish red ales probably will have roasted barley to get that red color, a little bit of it, or red ales in general. And this one, maybe they just use more of that. I don't know, but it is darker, but it's a really nice kind of deep copper brown red color that's pretty appealing. And yeah, like I said, you definitely smell a little bit of sweetness, but mostly it's kind of roasty graininess, and no hops in any of these. They use hops, you just can't really smell them. Yeah, okay, this one really excellent full mouth feel. I don't want to go so far as to say not sweet at all, but definitely less sweet than these other 3. This one, the emphasis is on the roastiness of the grains that are in here, and it basically just said malted. It says malted and roasted barley, That's about all they tell you. But it almost has a little bit of chocolatiness, think porter, but way dialed down. It has that kind of character to it. Yeah, I really like this one. That's hard to pick a favorite, but that's probably, of the ones I've had so far, that's my favorite. And then lastly, this one I made, which is an American red ale that is very dark. You know, that's one of the things I didn't like about how this one came out. It does have, you probably can't see it on the camera, but as the light shines through it, it's got a nice copper red effect going on. But I wish it was lighter. Next time I'll work on that. This one, because it's an American red ale, and I did not look up the recipe, refresh my memory on the recipe before I started recording, so I'll put it in the description. Definitely in the aroma, you pick up hops, because, you know, American red ales are going to be a little bit different in character. That's at least for me, one of the things that distinguishes them. I will throw out another shout out to North Jetty Brewing in Seaview, Washington. They make a fantastic seasonal imperial red ale called Graveyard of the Pacific that's only available around Christmas. One of my favorite beers. It's just really off the charts good. I haven't had it in a couple years because you have to go to the brewery to get it, and haven't made it down there in the last couple of years, but this year I'm definitely gonna do that. But anyway, I just wanted to throw this in there because A, I had it on hand, and B, see how it compares with the Irish ales, and definitely hops in the aroma there. Yeah, and this one, you know, emphasis on the hops. It's hoppier, but not over the top. I really wish I would have refreshed my memory on the recipe. I apologize, but I'll put it in the description. Nice full mouth feel. You get a little bit of that roastiness from the grains, and for me, I tend to like hops. I don't like, you know, stump beers that try to go above 100 IBU just because they can. But this has a pretty nice balance of the malt and the hops. It's got that full mouth feel and a little bit of sweetness, but not too much. And then for me, I like that kind of hop bite that these others have in a little bit less degree. Yeah, so I mean, these are all great. I would say if I had to pick a favorite, it's tough. The Ridgetop red is probably my least favorite. It's the lightest, so you know, if lightest in kind of flavor and mouthfeel, so it's definitely an easy drinker, and it's not bad. Don't get me wrong; these are all great beers. That's probably my least favorite of the five. And then it's hard to, you know, the one I made, it's hard to like compare it directly to these others, but I do enjoy that one quite a lot. I don't think that cake's gonna last super long. And then this Sullivan's, I would say, is probably my second favorite, or probably is my favorite. If you can pick that up, definitely do. And I got it at Total Wine, so if you have a Total Wine near you or can mail order stuff, it's well worth it. And if nothing else, because if you've only had kind of the, you know, I'd say like this kind of style of red ale that's a little bit sweeter, that's just a different character, a little bit chocolatey, and I really enjoy that one. Yeah, but they're all great. I'm trying to rate them, and I shouldn't even do that because they're all wonderful beers. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to do a red ale roundup for St. Patrick's Day and get another video out there since the brewery's out of commission for a little bit longer. I don't know. I think I had to put the camera low enough that you can't see, but the fan situation with the exhaust hood is done. I've been taking videos as I go along, gutting all that and that whole process. Like I said, LED lights, I got to redo those, but I have those on order and a better plan in place, and it shouldn't be too long before I can actually brew some beer. And I think the next thing I'm going to brew is a green tea cream ale. And I'll talk more about that when I do the video, but that's next up on the list. So thanks for watching. Happy St. Patrick's Day.